Welcome to this free lesson published via Mandolin.com. This is a lesson for beginner and intermediate players of one of the oldest fiddle tunes, one of the oldest known pieces of music written down, called the Fisher's Hornpipe, which sounds like this. Something like that. It's a great tune, one of my favourites to play. It's one of the tricky ones. I've always struggled, especially to learn this one off by heart, so this lesson is as much for you as it is for me. We're going to start the first few minutes. We're going to learn a beginner version, and we're just going to go through the tune, and then we'll move on to an intermediate version, which is kind of the standard version. So for you intermediate players, I recommend that you maybe skip ahead. I'll put a little note on the comments below as to where the intermediate version starts, because that's what I want you to focus on. And for you beginners, we're going to dive right in, and we're going to just have a play of the tune. The tab for this is all available at mandolin.com, and there's some free PDFs that I have linked below. So please do go and download them for free. There's tab and music, depending on your preference. And after 3, we're just going to dive right in and play the beginner version of Fisher's Hornpipe about this speed. And if that's too quick for you, don't forget YouTube has a slow down function if you press the little cog in the corner of the picture. After 3. 1, 2, 3. Repeat. Second time bar. 1, 2, 3. B part. Repeat the B part. That is very much the beginner version. I've had to take out quite a few notes to make that appropriate for you beginner players, and even then it's still quite hard to play. There's some tricky phrases, so please do take your time with it. Don't rush it. Your playing will be so much better if you just take your time, slow me down using the function down here until you get it right, and then gradually speed yourself up. For intermediate players, we're now going to look at your version of the tune. And before we play it, I just want to discuss a few different elements. And where I want to start is with the pickup notes. The version of the tune that I'm giving you has 3 quaver notes or 8th notes as a little pickup. And then you're in on the first beat of the bar. Which means that you need to start this whole tune on an upstroke, because those pickup notes start on the and of 3. So each beat has an and, so 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and if you've not come across this before, and I've done many videos on it, your hand should be matching that, so down on the beat, up off the beat, so 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So any note that falls on the and is an upstroke, any note that falls on a beat is a downstroke. Our intro starts on the and of 3, so 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So if I do that in context, you would never count it 1 and 2 and 3 and, you'd go 1, 2, 3, but if I was to put it in 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... So that first note of the pickup bar starts on an and, so it's an up. And that means you're down on the beat of beat 1 of bar 1. The A part is 2 quite long 4-bar phrases, so I'm just going to focus on phrase 1, which sounds like this. Which sounds like quite a lot of notes, and you sort of think, how am I going to get into that? But if we break it down, you'll actually see it's not too bad. So if we to cut, say, the pickup notes and bar 1, and just play that. We'll just stop there. Let's play that together. I'll do a 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3. Let's try that again. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and make sure the most important thing is that your right hand is doing the right pick strokes. So if I was to say it out loud, I might embarrass myself here. But 1, 2, 3, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. So it's, once you've got that first one right, up, and then it's just down, up, down, up, down, up, because there's a note on every 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So now let's look at the second bar of that phrase, which sounds like this. We just try that together. So this is bar 2. This is after 4, 3, 4. And then for those that have the music in front of you, don't forget, it's available on the PDF down here. Bar 3 is exactly the same as bar 2. So what I'd like to do is try and put those 2 bars with bar 1 of the pickup bar. So you hear the little repeat in there. So let's try up to the end of bar 3 after 3. 1, 2, 3. So hopefully that wasn't too bad. Maybe just have a quick rewind if you didn't get that first time round. And just to finish the phrase off, bar 4 just is that little phrase. So let's just try that together. Bar 4, 3, 4. So what we now want to try is all of it, pickup bar to end of bar 4, and this is what I would call phrase 1 of the tune. So we'll try it twice. I'll count us in, and then I'll count us in again. So after 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, one more time. 1, 2, 3. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Okay, so there's phrase 1. Phrase 2, and this is quite a common theme through fiddle tunes, is phrase 2 steals the first 2 bars of phrase 1. And then all it does is has a little different second half that goes like this. Okay? So for those of you looking at the tab, let's have a little play of phrase 2, and hopefully you can see that it's stolen some elements of phrase 1. Again, this is after 3, but it hasn't got the upstroke pickup note. It's just got 2 pickup notes, so this phrase starts on a down. So this would be 1, 2, 3. Okay? So this is phrase 2, which is the last 2 notes of bar 4 of this melody. So 1, 2, 3. that again, it's quite a tricky phrase. This is a hard tune for any standard player, so this may take you a bit of practice, but it'd be definitely worth it when you get there. When we get to the B part, we have this really nice, again it's split into two 4-bar phrases, and the first phrase sounds like this. Lovely melody. And I want you to try something. When I play this, let me play it how I would play it and see if you can see any difference to how I just played it then. So it's very subtle, but what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to make some notes louder than others. So if I was to slow it right down and if I was to overemphasize the melody notes, so there's 3 notes after. So you play the first note, and then you've got 3 notes which are not quite as important, and then the next 4 notes. So if you look on the tab, if you kind of download the worksheet, I've put in brackets the notes that you're not that bothered about emphasising. It just creates a bit of interest in the melody and reduces it from just being a barrage of quarter notes or quavers the whole time. It just kind of gives a sense that it's not all like lots of notes. So if you just if you were playing it, so there's just a bit of shape to the volume that you play in your melody, rather than which there's nothing wrong with. I think you should have a go at trying to put some accents in there. So ba da 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 da. Da, 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 da. Okay, so let's try that together. This will be after 4. So I'll go 3, 4, and then the best way of doing this is to overemphasize it, just so you can get used to which notes you're emphasizing, and then when it comes to it, you can kind of back off a little bit. So here we go. 3, 4. So I'm hoping you can hear that come across. It is very subtle, but it's a technique that you kind of will need in your armoury at some point, especially if you want to progress on to more advanced stuff. The final element of this tune that I want to quickly discuss before we have a play through all of it is the actual name of it, Fisher's Hornpipe. It's a hornpipe. At the moment, I've been purposely trying to play it straight. So a non-hornpipe, so a reel or just a normal fiddle tune, you would play it like this. And what I'm effectively doing is my downstrokes are the same length as my upstrokes. So down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. A hornpipe, if you want to give it a true proper hornpipe feel, you make the downstrokes ever so slightly longer than the upstrokes. So it would now sound like this. You sort of hear it as a kind of, makes it a bit bouncier. As I explain in the PDF below, it looks quite cluttered if you tab all of that out. So generally all you'll see, first of all, the name is the hint, the Fisher's Hornpipe. So you don't need anyone to tell you to play it like a hornpipe. You can play it however you want. But generally you'll see a little symbol that looks, I'll put the symbol here, at the top of the sheet of music, and that indicates that you should be playing it as a hornpipe, which is where you're slightly extending your downstrokes and slightly shortening your upstrokes. Okay? So when I play it, I'm not going full hornpipe, I'm not quite that extreme, I'm kind of... There's quite a swing there, but I'm not going full. That's a bit extreme for me, so I'm kind of somewhere in the middle. And how you play it, it's up to you. I'm not going to dictate. That's the great thing about music, is you can put your own interpretation. All that's left for us to do now is have a play of the full tune, and as I've said a few times in this video, this is a really hard tune, so please don't be downhearted if it takes you a while to get right. It took me ages to get this right, and I still sometimes struggle playing this off by heart. What we're going to do is what I normally do on these videos. I'll play the melody first time round, and then I'll do a repeat and I'll play the chords. And you can either do what I do, you can either just play the melody, or you can do the opposite of me. So it's effectively like we're having a little jam session. But I'm going to play the melody and then I'll play the chords. And don't forget all the repeats. It's 2 A's, 2 B's, and then repeat 2 A's, 2 B's. And it's going to be about this speed. And it'll be after 3, so don't forget our upstrokes. So it'll be 1, 2, 3. Okay? And 1, 2, 3. And repeat. Second timer, B part. Repeat the B part. Back to the top. And repeat. B parts. Repeat the B part. Here's the end. Well done if you made it through both times through there. What I recommend you do now is have a look at the advanced lesson, because that's also on Fisher's Hornpipe, and we'll have a look at how you add some kind of interesting trills and little grace notes and hammer-ons and pull-offs, and I'll also show you how Chris Seeley and Mike Marshall adapted the B part and played it in their own way. Thanks for watching. Don't forget you can download the PDF for anything we discussed today below, and all past lessons and future lessons will be available at mandomike.com.